And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and correct, often correct, not always, the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind water types, uses, and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness, hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micronutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, your virtual keto coach, your trusted health navigator, and I will be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, an Adject 6A distributor extraordinaire, and together we bring you the best of both worlds. This is call number 407. Call number 407, can you believe it? It's so good to be here with you guys today. And we're talking about aging. We're talking about, well, there's news, there's big news in aging, but also, it really confirms our approach here, the three-pronged approach: hydration, detoxification, and complete nutrition. So I think I'll start with the hot off the press news first, and then we'll get back to the basics. So here's the article that just came out. It is out of, I don't want to say which university now. Stanford, there it is. It's out of Stanford. So something else I'm going to show you today is out of Harvard. All right. So this article, this research was just published on the 12th, so 2 days ago. So this is like the cutting edge. And what they have done is they've been linking the immune system to aging. Okay. And they have developed an immune system clock. And it's very interesting the way they developed it. Who knows where they're going to go with this? And who knows when we will have access to this clock, this number that they have determined. But check this out. You're as old as your immune system. Investigators at Stanford University School of Medicine and the Buck Institute for Research on Aging have built an inflammatory aging clock that's more accurate than the number of candles on your birthday cake in predicting how strong your immune system is. So I think what I'm going to do, I think this article is going to lead us into another deep dive into the immune system. And it might take a couple of calls to really do it justice. We have Thank you, Anita. Okay, and how that happened, what happened, I don't know, but we are talking about the immune system. I don't know, there was some kind of glitch today in the computer, but hopefully, can you hear me now? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. All right, so I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but I'm going to repeat myself just in case. So this article in SciTech Daily, well, it actually came out in Stanford Medicine 2 days ago. SciTech Daily picked it up, and that's where I found it. The scientists at Stanford have been studying the immune system and its relationship to aging. And they've used AI that is artificial intelligence. So they've used these big computers to go over years and years and years of data to figure out how to determine what someone's aging number is, or someone's immune age, or their inflammatory aging clock, that's what they're calling. So what they found, as we grow older, a low-grade, constant body-wide bad inflammation begins to kick in. This systemic and chronic inflammation causes organ damage, promotes vulnerability to a who's who of diseases spanning virtually every organ system in the body, including cancer, heart attacks, strokes, neurodegeneration, and autoimmunity. To date, there have been no metrics for accurately assessing individuals' inflammatory status in a way that could predict these clinical problems and point to ways of addressing them or staving them off. But now this study has produced a single number quantitative measure that appears to do just that. So now this is in the experimental phase, but it could be that one day you can go to the doctor, get a blood test, and it will pinpoint your vulnerability to chronic inflammation and to certain diseases. This project is called the Stanford 1000 Immunomes Project. And what they did was they took 1001 they drew blood samples from 1001 healthy people from the age 8 to 96 between 2009 and 2016. The samples were subjected to a barrage of analytical procedures determining the levels of immune signaling proteins called cytokines and activation status of numerous immune cell types. What does that mean? They just looked at all the little chemicals in the blood, and they used artificial intelligence. They used a huge computer to figure out, was there a substance or a collection of substances or was there a way to quantify the inflammation aging of an individual? Now, in 2017, they went from just testing the blood samples of those 1,000 volunteers to actually interviewing participants age 65 and older. They measured how quickly they could get up from a chair and walk a fixed distance, and they gave them a questionnaire about their ability to live independently. Could they do their ADLs, we call them, activities of daily living? Can you dress by yourself? Can you walk by yourself? Cook your food, etc. And inflammatory age proved superior to chronological age in predicting frailty 7 years later. So they were able to, while a person was still very active, predict who in 7 years hence would become frail based on the combination of the questionnaire, the test, and the blood samples. Next, they obtained blood samples from 29 people who mostly, all but one, were over 100 years old, centenarians. And they went to Bologna, Italy, because the people there are exceptionally long-lived. And they found people there that, using their scores, had inflammation ages of down to 25. The average age of the people was over 100, but the average inflammation age was 40 years or less of their calendar age. So, but there, one 105-year-old man had an inflammatory age of 25. So I mentioned decades of data, right? we've talked about this study a couple of times during the call, the Framingham study. This study tracked thousands of individuals. I think it was tens of thousands of individuals since 1948. And so on a regular basis, they met with these people, they took their blood, they interviewed them, they figured out what they asked them what was their diet. They just tracked these people for decades. And so they've been using some of the blood from the Framingham participants, and they put all of this data into a huge computer, and they found that there's one substance in the blood called CXCL9 that really contributed to the inflammatory age score. So they found that levels of CXCL9, which is a cytokine, began to rise precipitously after age 60. So now that they know maybe there's a substance or group of substances that are causing the symptoms of aging, such as arterial stiffness, risk of stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, etc., maybe they could reverse it, right? So that was news from just 48 hours ago. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this slide now that's on my screen? Okay, great. So in my study of inflammation and aging, I found this guy, Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard. And this was just one of his lectures, Cracking and Reversing the Aging Clock. So I want to show you something that he is working on. So Forever Young, this is called epigenetics and aging. Epigenetics, you have the genes in your body, but they can be turned on and off by different substances. So these two mice have the exact same genome. They're genetically identical, and they were born on exactly the same date. But just like you could take a CD or DVD and scratch it, I don't know if you can see the scratches there, they chemically scratched this mouse's DNA. And by affecting its DNA, aging took place. So they're doing a lot of could you see the mouse? The mice? Okay, I don't know what is happening today. Well, let me show you the mice. Now do you see the mice? Good.
Yeah.
All right. So they were born exactly the same day, and they had the exact same DNA. But they damaged this mouse's DNA and caused aging. So now they're working on, since we can cause the aging, are there ways we can reverse it, at least slow down or reverse the aging? So let's talk about the three-pronged approach. What have they been doing? They've been creating chronic stress in these mice, right? So one of the things that the three-pronged approach, which is hydration, detoxification, and complete micro and macro nutrition, one of the things that the three-pronged approach is aimed at is decreasing inflammation and decreasing oxidative stress. So I found some really good articles to help you today. Now let's see. Where would they be? Let's try here. Okay. So the first thing I have is from Healthline. Let me check. Can you see this, Juanita? I'm going to trust that you can see the Healthline article called Understanding and Managing Chronic Inflammation. This is a really good article, and I'm going to put all of these resources that I'm using in the show notes, so you'll be able to access them. How you access them is you go to YouTube and you search for Kangen Water Radio, and you find the call. Well, I usually go to the playlist, but then you go to the individual call, and each call has a description box. And in the description will be the notes and the articles and the links from the call. All right, so understanding and managing chronic inflammation. This is a really nice article. It goes through the symptoms, the causes, how it impacts the body, how it is treated. And this caught my eye. How does diet impact chronic inflammation? So after reading this article, I went to another article on Healthline called 10 Anti-Aging Foods to Support Your 40s and Beyond Body. And, interesting, they started at the 40s, right? I'm glad they didn't just go for elderly. But this is important because aging is a gradual process. So the earlier we can start to intervene, the earlier we can make a change, or the more effectively we can make a change. So 10 anti-aging foods to support your 40s and beyond body. Number 1, watercress. We know about leafy greens, right? So I would put kale and spinach in this category as well. But the health benefits of watercress don't disappoint. Number 2, red bell pepper. And you'll find colors, right? Foods and vegetables with colors are loaded with antioxidants, and they are, one category is the carotenoids, the plant pigments that give you the bright colors, red, orange, and yellow. Those carotenoids have anti-inflammatory properties. Papaya. Well, we learned about papaya. We did learn about papaya in medical school. I'm shocked. There was something else I learned in medical school that was natural, but about the enzymes in the papaya that help digestion. But also what we didn't learn was about free radical damage and the fighting of free radical damage that papayas can do. Number 4, blueberries. I hope you've heard about blueberries. Powerful antioxidants. Number 5, broccoli. Number 6, spinach. Oh, it got its own category. Good, I'm happy. Number 7, nuts. Now, some nuts are better than others, and I absolutely hear almonds and walnuts discussed more than just about any other nuts whenever there's a listing like that. There's some other, like peely nuts. I've never had a peely nut, but I hear they're really, really good for the keto diet. But nuts, particularly, I'll say almonds and walnuts. Avocado, healthy fats. Sweet potatoes. And the thing about sweet potatoes is, number 1, they have the carotenoids, right? So that means that they have anti-inflammatory, antioxidant properties. Now, the antioxidant in sweet potatoes, beta carotene, converts to vitamin A, which helps your vision, but it also helps your skin. So it's a great, if you're not on a keto diet, of course, you wouldn't be able to use sweet potatoes, but everyone should be gluten-free. And thankfully, sweet potatoes are gluten-free. So gluten-free starches with benefits. Number 10, pomegranate seeds. All right, so that's a great article. And you know, I love Healthline too, because after the initial articles, they give you other articles. And I saw this one, How to Live Your Best Life as You Age. So I pulled that up for us. And that is here. 13 tips for aging gracefully. How to live your best life as you age. And let's look, be kind to your skin, exercise, mind your diet, mental health, right? Keep down your stress. We talked last call about OPD, other people's drama. We don't need that. Stay physically active, lower your stress, quit smoking, decrease alcohol consumption, get sleep. You got to rest and restore. Keep your brain fresh, find new hobbies, practice mindfulness. We got to love number 11, drink plenty of water. Number 12, take care of your mouth. And 13, see a doctor as needed. It says regularly. I'm going to say as needed. All right. So that is the cutting edge news of the day, but also the getting us down to the basics of the three-pronged approach. So I also, I don't see Mr. Hope, so let me see if I can pull up my Kangen water slides, and we can talk about Kangen water a little bit. Zoop, zoop, zoop. There we go. All right, Kangen water, change your life. Audio and visual still good, Juanita? Awesome, okay. Because there's something here I don't want you to miss. I've put a little surprise in the slides. Okay, here we go. Let me go back to this. Change your water, change your life. There are, how many types of water are there? And you know what, I need to go back into our call topics and see when we discussed all the different types. We've discussed tap water, we've discussed bottled water, we've discussed mineralized alkaline water, we've discussed, of course, electrolyzed reduced water, but yeah, I'm gonna put together maybe a few call numbers for you to review when we've talked about the different types of water and the importance of what type of water you consume. Ah, Mr. Hope is here. I'll just wait for him to get audio connected. And I'm going to give him some powers. Welcome to the call, Mr. Hope. I was just getting to talking about Kangen water.
Well, I like the slides you have up. We can use those for sure.
All right. Are you going to?
Sure, why not? Give it a little bit of a peek at the day here. And hello, everyone. welcome aboard. Glad you're all here. And so our new topic for the day. So, Kangen water, what is it? All right, pardon me 1 second. As we all know, it's an electrolyzed reduced water produced in the process known as electrolysis, so that your body can detox. This is one of the Kangen water machines known as the SD501. It's one of our popular units. It's the flagship of the nation, right? Of Kangen nation. Produces 7 different types of water, as we know, for detoxing the body, hydrating, sterilizing surfaces, eliminating pesticides from your fruits and vegetables and other foods. So you can do quite a lot with it, as we know. So our next slide shows our
what does it show? Do you know?
I don't know. Lightning? I don't know.
Well,
I think it
here
says
we
electrolyzed reduced water, molecular hydrogen is the next slide. So there we are. So electrolyzed reduced water, this is the term that we use. Molecular hydrogen is one of the major components that's produced in the process where electricity hits water. And so electrolyzed reduced water is a process where electricity hits water. So our next slide is kapow, I think. No, oh, electrolysis. Okay. So electrolyzed reduced water is produced in a process known as electrolysis. Electrolysis is a process where electricity comes in direct contact with water and produces antioxidant ions and molecules. And the next slide is our lightning strike, no doubt. Yes? Kapow. There we go. So what do we have? We have our lightning in a bottle. Yeah. So we have a water that's being processed with electricity. And when you hit electricity with water, you produce this process. So the next slide shows a water molecule, wop, wop. And that water molecule is H2O. And it's hit by electricity and then separates into 2 different segments. H2O divides into OH negative and H plus, and there are a plethora of other molecules that are produced in the process. But we use this in particular OH negative molecule as a measuring tool for the overall volume of antioxidant ions in the water at a time. So this molecule here happens to be alkaline in pH. And because of that, we use alkaline settings on the machine to show what the strength of the antioxidant level is going to be. Because now the higher the pH, the greater the volume of antioxidant molecules. Therefore, we can say 8.5, 9.0, 9.5 is a mild, mid-range, and very strong antioxidant effect. So this is a nice slide showing you the overall flow of different things that are occurring, from the water to the electricity to the division and the different molecules that are produced in the process, just giving you an overview of what's happening in our water. On our next slide, which show,
coming up.
Oh, it probably has something about, okay. So these are some slides I've shown before that refer to some of the electron transference that's occurring, negative and positive, that's going on in the water. Other references that you can take a look at showing a cell, and the positive charge on the surface and the negative charge interaction, and then an image of what an alkaline molecule looks like when it joins or restructures itself with other water molecules. So in the center, that's that alkaline molecule called hydroxide ion, and around it are representatives of water molecules, about 4 or 5 at a time. There was a group out in Southwest Labs in California that did work to show what happens in electrolysis when water is hit with electricity and a restructuring is occurring and a production of these hydroxide ions are occurring, and what that looks like in a diagram. And there are places you can go to take a look for yourself at what electrolysis looks like in science. So Chemical Physics Letters is one of a major science publication that shows a lot of the information on that. You can look for yourself. So what's the importance of all this? As we really look to nail down and hammer down, the body is self-healing. If you give it proper detoxification, nutrition, energy, it's going to do what it's designed to do. Here we see a depiction of animals in the wild. And we have to notice that none of these animals have any of the chronic illnesses humans have. no diabetes, no high blood pressure, no kidney failure. None of these animals are going to a dialysis center. None of these animals are going to a dialysis center. There's no heart failure. There's zero obesity. All the animals of the species are identical to each of the other animals in the species. No great variation in that respect. And why? Well, part of it's because they're eating what their body is designed to eat: produce, protein, water, and nothing else. Humans are eating McDonald's and Coca-Cola and Pepsi and different things that are really not even food. And one can argue that, well, the animals have a different physiology, so they're not like humans. Yeah, but sure enough, they don't eat what we eat. And, if you want to think about the difference, you have to think about the similarities. There's a reason why animals are used in, well, scientific animal studies, so that we can understand how an environmental factor can affect both animals and humans, and also recognize, pets, for example, kept at home. They've got some of the same chronic illnesses that humans have. They'll end up with cancers and diabetes and obesity. But why is that? Because the humans are feeding them what the humans eat. And even their pet food is really processed food. It's not really necessarily chemical free or preservative free, or, so what our food does to a mammal, animal, avian, fish, with the same thing we could find being done in the wild if we were to expose them to it, but they're not. So we encourage everyone to have a proper balanced diet, to eat well, to eat your produce, your protein, and stay away from all these junk foods that we've got out there. So once again, we talk about self-healing. If you scratch your finger, if you cut yourself, if you get a Band-Aid, you put the Band-Aid on your finger. And why? Because we know that the body is self-healing at the surface of the body, at the skin. The next slide is going to show someone else get a little boo-boo, as they say, on the elbow, and mommy there, give them a little Band-Aid. So we do very simple things. Why? Because we know that the skin is self-healing. We look deeper into the body, at the bones, where there might be hairline fractures or full breaks to bones, which is unfortunate. But once again, we're not really doing anything special for these people beyond giving them painkillers and putting a cast on them. Why? To make sure that the bone is reset in the position it's supposed to be in, so that as it heals itself evenly and as it was designed to be. So we are aware that from the surface of the skin to the depths of the bones, that the body is self-healing. But did you know that that same self-healing ability continues right down to the cellular level, as long as you're properly detoxed, hydrated, and nourished? So here's a nice example of a fish tank. Anyone who's ever had a fish tank as a pet in their home knows that they've got to keep the fish tank clean, because if there's a high toxic buildup, the fish will die. They won't be able to get oxygen. They won't be able to function. In the same way, your body can build up with high toxicity. And if not filtered out or flushed out or detoxed, it can cause dysfunction and, the demise of the body. Yeah. So in our next slide, we look at, I think, a person. So Kangen water is antioxidant. It detoxes the body. There's an example we give of oxidation, or the degradation of the cell. Some people call it the aging of the cells. So when you look at plants, fruits, vegetables, we know they turn brown if they're left exposed to the air. And that's a process known as oxidation, breakdown of the cells. It's also known as aging. But if we want to be more detoxing or antioxidant for the body, we have to be able to remove toxicity so it can remain healthy. It'd be nice if we could have my ORP slide next, but I know I don't have that next. I've got the full body. So the body is what? 90% water. The kind of water you put in your body is going to dictate the kind of health that you're going to have. So we want to fulfill that with Kangen water. Why? Because water is going everywhere. Every cell, every interstitial level of the cell, every organ, all the fatty cells. So because water goes everywhere, if we make water antioxidant, we're able to detox all the cells. We're able to energize all of the cells. So we're basically putting in your body the substance that is everywhere, so that it can have your body can have the greatest benefit. Take a medication that might not get everywhere. Certainly it's not going to fulfill the functions that your body's own immune system can take care of for you. But if you take water, put that in your body, well, it's going to go everywhere. Now we have an antioxidant water that's beneficial. There are different pH levels in different organs of the body. You've heard tell that the body is alkaline. You've heard tell that people say to drink alkaline water, eat alkaline foods, and you'll be healthy. In fact, the body is not entirely alkaline. The body has acidic organs and the body has alkaline organs. And all those organs must maintain their own pH level simultaneously. So, for example, the stomach is more in the acidic range. It shows from 1.5 to 4.0. The large intestine and small intestine are more in the acidic range, 4.0 to just neutral, depending on the stage of digestion. We can look over at saliva, 6.5 to 7.5. That's acidic at one point, up to an alkaline range as well. So the brain, more alkaline. The heart, more alkaline, 7.0 to 7.45. The bloodstream, 7.45. So the capillary blood, 7.4. So we're seeing their acidic organs and their alkaline organs. What you want to do is detox the body so that it can maintain its own pH easier. The body is self-regulating. It doesn't require us to eat an alkaline food to be alkaline, nor does it require us to eat an acidic food to maintain acidity. It takes the energy from the food that you eat and uses that to regulate all the systems, including the pH that has to exist in all the specific organs. So keep that in mind. Molecular hydrogen, once again, is one of the major elements in Kangen water produced in our electrolyzed reduced water system. And your body will absorb that and convert that to energy, much in the way your body converts glucose to energy when you eat your food. So we get direct energy from the Kangen water. We get detoxed, allows us to be pH balanced, and that state our body can be healthy and self-healing, at the highest level. So that's just an overall summary of what Kangen water is, how it works in the body. And of course, we could take questions on today's subject, as well as Kangen water as well. Dr. Lisa Sinclair, AMD.
Thank you, Mr. Hope. That's called just in time, your entrance.
I tell you, I got off these phones just in time. I said, wait, okay, I finished with that. Let's get.
So
God's keeping me in order.
So we were talking about aging today, and the connection of the immune system with aging, chronic inflammation and aging. And we had some brand new research that's out, but we went from cutting edge back to the basics. And so I'm really, really glad that you came in with that information. I see Juanita's hand is up.
Hey, Juanita.
So if you can unmute yourself, Juanita, welcome to the call. Good morning.
Juanita.
And I will also put up the chat. So anyone can ask a question by typing it into the chat or just raising your hand.
Lovely.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, great. New technology. Okay, so as I'm taking my notes as a good student, I'm looking at the list of foods which I need to go buy of those 10. But can you go back to that chart, the very beginning where we kind of had a hiccup? And you were saying something about the inflammation years. Can you go over that a little bit, Dr.?
The first article?
Yes.
Okay.
The inflammation years. Okay.
You were showing the chart.
Yeah, I just have to find mine.
While you're looking for that, Mr. Hope, how would you explain the differences of the 8.59 and 9.5 water?
Absolutely.
Like my new haircut.
I was admiring it very quietly over here, to tell you the truth.
Yes, my hairdresser came down to my home and did this. And I told her, I'm actually on a singles dating site. I'm trying it. So I told
Well, it's a very attractive hairstyle. It will do you well. It caught my attention, I can tell you that.
You're almost blushing. But she put a toner on it. And then because of the hair loss from that stress event I went through.
Well, I'll show you two things for your hair and for your question. So 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5 pH levels are detoxing strength variations. 8.5 is a mild detox. 9.0 is mid-range. 9.5 is the highest. You have the highest volume of antioxidant molecules at the 9.5 level, mid-range at 9.0, smallest at the 8.5. And they use the alkaline pH of the hydroxide ion to indicate the overall volume of antioxidant ions in the water at a time. So that's the distinction between the three. Each water might be for different types of people. So we always recommend people drink the 8.5 for at least the first 3 to 4 weeks when they're first beginning their introductory to Kangen water, because it detoxes you the way it does, and you want to make sure your body can handle that flushing of the system. And then you can go up to 9.0 and 9.5 if your body type is good for taking that level of detoxification. When people are losing weight or if they've got extra weight in their body, they want to stay at the 8.5 level for extended periods of time because there's a greater toxic load in the fatty cells that's being released, and you don't want to overwhelm the body's ability to get rid of that at a time. So I don't recommend that people carrying extra weight or trying to lose weight to drink the 9.5. They should likely stay at the 8.5 and 9.0. And overall, people can adjust for that. Make an adjustment as to what works for best for them, even whatever body size they are, whether they're thin or heavier. Because you never know what you never know what a person's toxic level is. Now, for your hair, 11.5, 2.5, and beauty water. So I recommend doing a rinse of it with a quart of 11.5 first, and then maybe more of that because you have a lot of hair. And then follow that with a rinse of 2.5 through the hair. Lastly, the beauty water at 6.0. 11.5 is going to pull oils out of the pores of the scalp. And that could be areas that is inhibiting blood flow to the hair follicles. And then you'll have more body to the hair because of that. The 2.5 will then sterilize the pores in the scalp and the hair. And lastly, the beauty water is about a 6.0 water, and that will rebalance the pH of your hair back to 6.0, 5.5, where it's meant to be, because the 2.5 is much too low. These will allow sometimes people to see like really even hair growth occur. The body of your hair will change instantly, and split ends will curl up. So you'll see a big difference if you use the water in that way. So that's 8.5, 9.0, 2.5, 11. I think I just went over all the waters except for the neutral water.
She told me that my hair is really, really, really healthy. And even though it feels as though, what I went through the last few months, different. I mean, right now it's very soft and it doesn't really need a conditioner.
No, with the Kangen water, particularly the beauty water, it'll take the place of your conditioner, and you'll see the immediate difference in the quality of your hair.
And I don't even recall ever having a split end in the last whatever years. Now that we talk about the water and drinking it, but and then when you talked about the fish tank, I love that picture because you know what a Roku is?
A Roku?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what a Roku is.
Roku is a device that you turn your monitor into a TV, basically. Margie's the expert; she's on here. But on the home screen of the Roku, when you have it on, it shows that fish tank, and it reminds me of you every time you go. And if Roku goes on pause, if you haven't made a choice of what you want to watch, it'll show that fish tank. But Mr. Hope, have you heard of the logarithmic scale?
I have not heard of it. What does it do?
Okay, I learned this in the Kangen water early days. I had wonderful, wonderful teachers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 14, right? The pH.
14. Yeah, 0 to 14, yeah.
7 is right in the middle, right?
Right.
7.
Yeah.
So you got 8, 7 is neutral, 8 is 10 times stronger than 7, 9 would be 100 times stronger than.
Oh, that's a logarithmic scale.
Oh,
Right.
Spell it? How did I do that?
LOG.
Logarithm. Wow. And then the 10 would be 1,000 times stronger. And then our 11 is 10,000 times stronger than neutral.
Mm.
So that's kind of the chart that they taught me with. So the pH of our 9.5 water would be, or let's use 9, 100 times stronger
Did I
than
lose you?
neutral. Is that correct, Dr. Lisa?
Yes.
So there you go, Ms. Gallo. Put that in your charts. Maybe we could
I
find
think we lost him.
He's on pause.
He's frozen. Now, he's back.
Maybe we could find a
Froze for a
chart
second.
to add to your charts.
Oh yeah, I've got pH charts.
And on your last chart that you showed the molecular hydration,
Molecular hydrogen.
all those different issues like
Mhm.
diabetes, cancer, that was really, really blurry. And
Yeah.
the words are under the molecular hydrogen are clear, but the illustration is blurry.
Yeah, it was just to give you an idea of the different things that molecular hydrogen does in the body. And we've done a couple calls that really, and we have a couple of articles that really highlight molecular hydrogen in being neuroprotective, cardioprotective, even protecting the fetus during fetal development, all kinds of studies on the benefits of molecular hydrogen all over the body. But yeah, that slide wasn't meant to be read. It was meant to be impressed.
And here's a little chart of the pH you were talking about there, Juanita. Ranging from 0 to 14, acidic being in the lower end and alkaline being at the upper. I've been using this particular diagram or imagery to also kind of highlight to people to be careful of these terms in terms of acidic being poor health and alkaline being good health. As I remind everyone that the body is not alkaline entirely and it's not acidic entirely, but there are healthy organs in the acidic range, healthy organs in the alkaline range. Too much of the rhetoric of the body's alkaline, drink alkaline water to be healthy is be afraid of acidity or something. No, not in fact. You detox the body. So the organs that are acidic can be acidic and they will be healthy. And the organs that are alkaline will be in their alkaline range and they will be healthy. But your scale does go from 0 to 14. Neutral is color-coded in green. Below that, yellows, reds, and oranges are in the acidic range. Blues and purples are in the alkaline range, and all depending on what is necessary for your body's bloodstream, for your body's organ is what the pH is going to be at that level. So,
whoever designed our machines are just brilliant. The SP501, because we've got the colors on the buttons.
Yeah, on the original SP501, not so much in the platinum.
Oh, really? Okay.
The platinum is just straight metallic, no color distinction.
Well, I have 3 brand new caregivers pretty much for the last couple months, and I'm teaching them about the water, and they're just completely fascinated. Like, wow, when you look at, like, they clean my fruits and veggies and then salad spinach, and all the debris that comes off that water. I said, this is what you've been eating. And I don't know if you can see these. Can you see those?
Blackberries and boysenberries, raspberries.
These are raspberries, and these came
and cherries.
From the market. And these, I don't even know what these were until my caregiver told me. They're itty bitty. They're called a mulberry, and you just eat the whole thing. And she picked these down at the river, just like there, a couple blocks away from me now.
It's nice having a volcano in your backyard.
Ha, ha, ha. Mineral rich.
Here's attractive and the fruit's attractive. Where are the two-legged attractives?
Well, you're definitely working on that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't find a chart, Juanita. I'm not sure what you, I found the article that I used before, but I didn't find a chart in that article.
What kind of chart?
You know, you were talking about, I wrote down, it was the ADL. Because that's
The activities of daily living, yeah.
Right, and it was right after that.
So it was in this article. So they just not yesterday, day before yesterday, developed or released the information that they have used AI to develop an immune or an inflammatory aging clock. But they use blood samples, they used information over decades with the Framingham study, but also they used 1,000 blood samples of current people from ages 8 to 96. But in 2017, they assessed 30 participants over 65 who, the way they assessed them, they measured their speed at getting up from a chair and walking a fixed distance. And then they gave them a questionnaire about their activities of daily living. Can you walk by yourself? Do you need help getting dressed? Can you cook your own meals, etc.?
Mm.
So they took a supercomputer and put all of that into the mix, and they came out with a number that they can use to give you your inflammatory age. Now, when that will be clinically available, who knows, right? But they are honing in on the causes and possibly.
It was that paragraph you were pointing to that showed the 100.
The 1,001.
It was their stress level, their inflammation years.
Yeah.
So right there, next, at the end of that, it writes, 105-year-old man had an inflammatory age of 25.
Right.
So does that mean that he was 105 years old? Well, can you translate that in layman terms for me?
So his chronological age is not the same as his immune system age or his inflammation age. So people that have a lot of immune stress, so this is, the article starts out, you are as old as your immune system. So he had the immune system of a 25-year-old, basically. And there, you know, we've talked about aging. There have been other biological and different ways of measuring aging and giving someone a score, like, is your biological age the same as your chronological age? And they use questionnaires like that. So they're getting down even into a more cellular or even subcellular level, not just asking, you know, how many sit-ups can you do or how many push-ups or this or that, but they're finding they're trying to find a blood test that will give an idea of what your immune age is, what your inflammatory age is. And then if they find that your inflammatory age is significantly above your chronological age, they'll be able to intervene much earlier and do things such as, hopefully they would introduce you to antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. And, but that's why we had the articles about the top anti-aging foods, Because we could start now. We don't need a blood test to tell us that 10 years from now, we're going to be frail, right? Because that's what they were saying, that when they did all of their number crunching, they could tell 7 years in advance before someone had a likelihood of becoming frail. Here it is. So inflammatory age proves superior to chronological age in predicting frailty 7 years later. So they followed these people for years and years and years. And what their blood tests showed, let's say year one, the people that had a low inflammation age when they did the first test, year one, 7 years later are the people that still had a lot of activity and a lot of vitality. And the people that had a higher inflammation age at year one, 7 years later were the people that were frail or that needed help with their activities of daily living. So, being able to turn back the clock would be huge, because we spend a lot of resources and a lot of money on aging issues.
I was wondering who that was at the beach. Somebody at the beach, is that Reggie? At the beach?
Reggie's always in the beach in his mind.
on there.
In the Caribbean, man.
But as we study and get better, I was with my neighbor, caregiver's daughter, and we were driving downtown, and we passed this store called Sea Salt Apothecary. Apothecary, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And I've never ever, their website says eat your herbs. In this little store, they sell this stuff that you can just make right down there. The doctor makes it on site. And they've got a little warehouse, I believe, in Kashmir, which is about 10 miles down the road going towards Seattle. And I left them a message, but it says, inspired by the seasonal botanical abundance of the Pacific Northwest, Salt Creek, that's the name, Salt Creek Apothecary is dedicated to local and wild-crafted, small batch, handcrafted, sustainable, and ethically cured herbal teas, extracts, tonics, infused honey, topicals, and medicinals geared toward condition-specific healthcare. So it's really, 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 really cool. And I want to go down there and I don't know if you'd like to see that, but I want to go down there and meet the doctor and let her know my symptoms that I do not want to, the symptoms, they're not mine, the symptoms that I have, and I want her to mix me up a potion of something. So I'll keep you guys tuned in, what's good. And she probably has all these things that you're talking about. I mean, maybe look it up. Salt Creek Apothecary. How do you pronounce that, Dr. Lisa?
Apothecary.
Apothecary. So yes, and maybe I'll ask about hair growth.
Did you miss our call on hair growth?
No, I love it.
Oh, good.
I was telling my beautician that I got to send it to him. In fact, I'm going to write a note.
Good.
Because she was teaching me. I said, I wish you would have been on Dr. Lisa's call. I want you to meet Dr. Lisa as well. Because she is the expert on my hair. And she was teaching me what was going on. I told her I wanted lift and to get some of the thickness back in curl. Because before I had my baby 38 years ago, my hair was very curly. And then it went kind of straight.
Those little parasites, they just suck the curl right out of your hair.
Is that what happens?
Yes.
Are you
Sorry,
about getting pregnant?
question.
What?
Is it possible that I can ask a question?
Of course.
I'm
Aida.
sorry. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, but I have been waiting for a long time. This is short. Hi, Dr. Lisa. Hi, Mr.
Hi.
Pence. Hi. Dr. Lisa, I sent you a note on the chat box.
Yes.
I would like to access the article from the Healthline. And how do I get to this day episode? What is the number? Do I have to put a number?
Nope. It's very
No.
simple. And I saw your hand, I saw your question, and I will answer it for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So, and I'm so glad you asked.
Yes.
So all you have to do is, let me see, where's my, okay, so can you see my screen here? I'm sharing my screen.
Yes.
Just give me a nod.
Yes, I can. I can. Yes.
Good.
Thank
So
you.
you're going to go to YouTube. Now, today's call is not up yet, right? But this information will be the same. You go to YouTube, and in the search box, you search Kangen Water Radio. Right? Can you use YouTube, Aida? Is this making sense so far?
Oh, you can't. Yeah, you can't hear me. Yes, yes, yes. I get
Okay, so
it for free.
YouTube, Kangen Water Radio,
Yes.
and our entire playlist is here.
I see.
You know, individual calls will come up as well. There was the hair call. There's the cancer has an Achilles heel call. But if you pull up the playlist, it says play all. You can see them all. You have access to all of the calls. All right?
Great. Okay.
Now, here's the trick. So you go into a call. Let's look at the types of hair loss. Good morning.
Okay.
Good afternoon. All right. Now, right here under the title of the call, under the title of the channel, Kangen Water Radio,
Yes.
see it says call number 405, types of hair loss. And down here it says show more. Click show more, and you get all of the articles, all of the links directly to the articles, as well as some resources that we refer to very frequently on the call. You get our contact information. Every call has the resources right connected.
All right. Thank you.
Now, I have also texted you. It was a couple of calls ago, but I have texted you the link to the playlist. So if you look at your texts from me, and I'll text you another. I'll text you this one too. The last two calls I couldn't do the text and the email, but generally I do a text and an email after the call with these links. But if you go back to June 23rd, that was call number 401. I texted you the link.
I don't see that text from you, Dr. Lisa. I have June 30th.
Go back.
Let me see if I can get those texts. I might have, I think I might have lost that one. That top to load preview. Let me see if this is open.
It says, here's today's Kangen Water Radio replay.
No.
Well,
I remember, I'm sorry, I remember seeing it. I do remember, yes, you are correct. Yes.
Yeah, I sent you one on the 23rd. I sent you one on the 19th for call number 400. So when you see a link that says full YouTube playlist, that takes you right to that YouTube that whole list.
I see. Okay. All
And
right.
if you go to any individual call,
Okay.
the call resources are there.
All right. Okay. All right.
Now, it looks a little different on your cell phone.
I was going to just say that because I'm looking at my cell phone and I just did exactly what Dr. Lisa said, and it shows differently.
Yeah.
So I was kind of
I would access it on my computer rather. So
So
very
let me show
limited.
you on the cell phone. Okay.
Yes. Yes. You said
So on my cell phone, I went to YouTube. So I'm in YouTube and I searched Kangen
okay.
Water Radio.
Yes.
Give it a sec, it should clear up. Okay. So there's the playlist or any call you can pick.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I see you.
So let's see.
Oh, the first one's the playlist?
The one that says 28, that means all 28 video calls are there.
Okay.
See the 28. So you click on the 28. It'll be 29 later,
Oh, right.
right?
Mine actually says 29.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so whatever. So let's say you want to pick on the call about eye health. So you touch on that.
Okay. I got yes.
Discuss the 3-pronged approach. Okay. Now, this is what happens on my phone. I don't know what'll happen on your phone, but this playlist comes up that says Kangen Water Radio.
Mm,
You have to get that out of the way. See this X over here?
yes.
So I'm hitting the X.
Okay.
Now I'm in just this call by itself, this
I
individual
see.
call.
Yes.
Now there's a little caret, a little arrow pointing down
Mm-hmm.
in the corner. You hit that arrow pointing down, and there are all of the resources.
Okay. All right.
This is called the description box. See where it says description?
Yes.
Now we get out of that, and it's
Okay.
just a regular YouTube video with all the stuff.
I see. Okay. All right. I got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you asked that. I've been.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
It's all there for you. So when you do go there, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe,
Yes.
like it, love it, questions, comments, right? That can be a really vibrant place
Yes.
for you to get more information. But
Yes,
all of the
wonderful.
articles will be right there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Lisa.
You're so welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Sure. Thank you. Okay.
Dr. Lisa,
My pleasure. My pleasure.
when I tap those 3 little carrots that you call them, mine says save to watch later, save to playlist, or share.
Did you tap? I think you tapped the 3 dots.
Yeah. What is the
Not the
carrot?
3 dots. So you have to open up the video. So click on the actual video.
Quitting network marketing is one of the best things.
Any video, and then you got to get rid of the ad somehow. So
Ever done. I spent 6 years stalking gas stations and malls.
But I'm trying to find references to
skip ads. All right, so this is just a random video I just picked up, but see, this is the title of the call, of the video, and all the way over on the same line as the title is that little down arrow. And you click on that, and he has put information on his tour in that call.
Okay, right beside, it says 29 videos, Kangen Water Radio, and then there's an arrow up button, a triangle up. I was trying to find the references to the articles, say for call number 406.
So hit call number 406. And the video should start playing, right?
Right, did I pause it up on top?
Right. Now, do you see, oh, this is what you need to do. Send me a screen share right of that, of what you have right there.
If I don't have an iPhone, I don't know how to screen share.
I don't have an iPhone either.
Okay, what do I do?
I don't know. But what I do for screen share is I hit my low volume and my off button at the same time. And that hits the screen share. But we can do this offline. We can talk afterwards, and we'll figure it out. Because
Okay, thank you.
yeah, it's just figuring out the particular beast of your phone. So, all right. So thank you for joining us today. And I have one parting slide. Not you. Let's see. I don't know if it showed up or not. Okay. So, thank you for joining us for Kangen Water Radio. Call number, we've reached the end of call number 407. And if you have further questions, call or text area code 866-526-4368. That's 866-526-4368. Or you can email us at kwnation7@gmail.com. KWNation, the number 7@gmail.com. And all the replays are available at Kangen Water Radio on YouTube. All righty.
42526.
So I think we're out of here for today. So have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thank you.
And we will see you on Saturday at 1.
Saturday, yes.
We're going to continue this exploration into inflammation. Like maybe where does inflammation fit in the immune system? Because, we get this idea that inflammation is bad. Not completely correct. Without inflammation, we wouldn't be able to heal. So we'll take a look at the inflammation, the good, the bad, and the ugly on Saturday. All righty. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you too, doctor. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless.
God bless you.
Bye.